Claudia Lawrence vanished without a trace. No struggle, no goodbye, no body. And after 16 years, police still believe people close to her are hiding the truth. On March 18th, 2009, Claudia finished her shift at the University of York like she always did. She worked early mornings as a chef, starting at 6 a.m. and finishing at 2. It was a routine she loved. Long afternoons, quiet evenings, drinks with friends, walks through the city. A simple life that finally felt stable. Her car was in the garage that week, so she had been walking 3 miles to work every day. That afternoon, a friend spotted her and offered her a ride home. Claudia was dropped off outside her cottage on Haworth Road just before 3 p.m. CCTV captured her walking through York earlier that day. Nothing looked unusual. Nothing looked wrong. That evening, Claudia texted a friend, then spoke to both of her parents on the phone. Her mother, Joan, later said she sounded cheerful and relaxed. They talked about plans for Mother's Day. Claudia told her father she was heading to bed early because she had another long walk to work in the morning. At 9:12 p.m., Claudia received the final text message ever sent to her phone. Then silence. By 5 a.m. the next morning, Claudia should have been leaving for work. She knew the route by heart. 3 miles through familiar streets, past the pubs and neighborhoods she walked through almost every day. She never arrived. At noon, her manager called her mobile. It rang out. Hours later, at 12:10 p.m., someone deliberately switched Claudia's Samsung phone off. It has never been turned on again. That evening, Claudia was supposed to meet her friend Susie at the Nag's Head pub, less than a minute from her house. Claudia never showed up. Calls went unanswered. By the next morning, panic started setting in. On March 20th, Claudia's father, Peter, used his spare key to enter her cottage. Inside, everything looked normal. The bed was made. Dirty dishes sat in the sink. Her handbag, bank cards, passport, and jewelry were all still inside the house. It looked like she had gotten ready for work and expected to come home afterward. But a few things were missing. Her mobile phone, her blue and gray rucksack, her chef's whites, and her hair straighteners. The exact thing someone would take before heading to work in the morning. At 2 p.m. that day, Peter Lawrence reported his daughter missing, and one of Britain's most haunting disappearances began. Before the headlines and investigations, Claudia was simply someone people loved being around. She grew up in Malton, Yorkshire, in a close family with her parents and older sister. Friends described her as adventurous, funny, and dependable. She trained as a chef, worked in hotels and restaurants across York, and eventually took a calmer job at the University of York for a better routine. In 2007, Claudia bought her own cottage on Haworth Road with help from her parents and a small inheritance. She spent evenings at the Nag's Head pub with friends, listening to music and enjoying the simple life she built for herself. She never missed work, never disappeared, never cut contact with her family, which is why everyone who knew her believed the same thing. Something terrible had happened. Police launched the largest missing person investigation in North Yorkshire history. Early on, detectives considered 3 possibilities. Maybe Claudia chose to leave voluntarily. Maybe something happened during her walk to work. Or maybe someone she knew was responsible. As weeks passed, that third theory became harder to ignore. 5 weeks after Claudia vanished, the investigation officially became a murder inquiry. Police retraced her walking route. They searched fields, roads, and waterways. Nothing. Detectives even traveled to Cyprus after learning Claudia had connections there and had received her final text from a man living on the island. Still nothing. Then came the details that made the case even stranger. A CCTV camera captured an unidentified man near Claudia's home a night before she disappeared. He appeared nervous and vanished once another person entered the area. Police never identified him. Another camera captured a silver Ford Focus stopping outside Claudia's cottage. The driver never came forward. Years later, advances in forensic technology uncovered unidentified fingerprints inside Claudia's home and male DNA on a cigarette found in her car. Phone analysis also revealed Claudia had been spending time in an area of York her family knew nothing about. Police believed people close to Claudia were withholding information, and they said it publicly. In 2015, Detectives arrested 4 men from York, all linked to Claudia's social circle at the Nag's Head pub. Every one of them denied involvement. No charges were ever filed. But investigators remained convinced the truth was still sitting with people who refused to speak. Over the years, Claudia's disappearance became more than a cold case. It changed British law. Because Claudia was legally considered missing, her family couldn't access her finances or manage her affairs. Bills piled up. Mortgage payments continued. The law offered families no protection unless a missing person was officially declared dead. Peter Lawrence refused to accept that. He campaigned for years alongside charities and politicians to create legal protections for families of missing people. In 2019, the Guardianship Missing Persons Act became law. People now call it Claudia's Law. It allows families to manage financial affairs after a loved one disappears instead of remaining trapped in legal limbo for years. Peter Lawrence died in 2021 without ever learning what happened to his daughter. Months after his death, police launched a massive search at gravel pits near San Hutton after receiving new information tied to the investigation. Divers, archaeologists, search dogs, and forensic teams drained an entire lake searching for evidence. Nothing publicly significant was found. Still, detectives insist the case remains active, and Claudia's mother, Joan, has never stopped fighting for answers. In 2024, renewed media attention brought fresh tips into the investigation. North Yorkshire Police confirmed they are still reviewing information and following new leads. But after all these years, one fact continues to haunt the case more than anything else. Police believe someone knows exactly what happened to Claudia Lawrence, and they believe that person has stayed silent for 16 years. On the last confirmed night of her life, Claudia told her mother she was going to bed early. She sounded happy, calm, normal. Then she vanished. No trace, no answers, just a silence.